Ride-sharing services like Uber and Lyft were under the microscope today at the Massachusetts State House. The Financial Services Committee heard testimony on how much ride-sharing companies should share a level playing field with taxis. More liability insurance, criminal background checks. Among those testifying today was Boston Police Commissioner Bill Evans, and he joins me now. Commissioner, it's good to see you.
Good to see you. So
you testified on behalf of the people of Boston. Your predecessor, Ed Davis, testified on behalf of Uber.
Right.
Were you on the same page or no?
You know, I didn't hear his testimony today, Jim. So, you know, obviously he works for Uber. So I'm assuming, you know, we weren't on the same page. But
what were you advocating?
Well, I was more advocating, you know, some restrictions that we put on our taxi industry, such as, you know, criminal background checks, very extensive. Not done by a company that we have no clue who's doing it. Who I want fingerprinting. I want markings on the transportation vehicles, the Uber. I also
so that they can be identified.
Yeah,
you mean
identified.
And
I brought it up, Jim. Who owns a black vehicle had someone walk up to them and try to get in their car?
Speaking of that fact, I saw a tweet this afternoon. I have no idea if it's true. BPD Commissioner Evans disclosed that someone has tried to climb into his unmarked SUV police vehicle, presumably thinking he was an Uber driver. Did that actually happen?
It has.
Today?
Not today.
Oh.
It's happened over the last couple of months.
People have literally tried to get in your car?
I obviously have a driver or two, and numerous times they've tried to get in while they've waited outside an event. So, and I think it's happened. If you have a black, unmarked, either sedan or whatnot, so I'm looking to have markings put on them. And also, Jim, I'm looking to have those vehicles that people from Uber have inspected. You know, we do it twice a year to all our fleet of taxi drivers, and I want to make sure when people are going into those cars that they're clean, they're safe, and they're operable.
Sounds like you want them treated exactly like taxis.
Well, again, me and the mayor are all for Uber. I think they bring a great resource and
people, but am I wrong?
Yeah. I
want them treated the same way.
Yeah. So it's a level playing field.
Are you troubled at all, just briefly, by Ed Davis was the police commissioner, preceded you, you worked on it. Are you troubled at all that he now goes in as a representative of a company whose interests may not be the same interest as the people he served for years?
Well, I would hope that he would realize, being the commissioner, our safety concerns. He was in charge of this Hackney unit for 7 years. He knows how deeply we dig into these drivers' backgrounds. So it would trouble me if he went against that, because he was the commissioner for 7 years, and he realized how under the microscope and what a good program we run.
But you're not crazy about this, are you?
Well, I'm not crazy about it, and I didn't hear his testimony, but obviously, you know, I'm concerned with public safety. The mayor is also.
Can we talk about another set of hearings going over on everywhere around America, Boston City Council, everywhere, body cameras? I've spoken to you about 400 times. 30% roughly of the 17,000 police forces in America are now doing them. Your most recent quote I could find is, I don't want to commit till vetted across the country. Why don't you vet them in Boston rather than depending upon what's happening everywhere else?
I can honestly say, Jim, we are clearly moving there. We have several vendors coming in within the next couple of days to look at them.
You do?
Yes, we, you know.
So they're going to happen?
Yeah, they're going to happen
on what,
a pilot
trial basis?
Yeah, and the dash cams are going to be on a pilot basis. So we have several vendors. I'm working with our legal staff to look at the policies across the country. So I'm working with the unions. I've had meetings with the unions. So it's coming
here.
So
now it's 100% happening,
it's at least
on a limited basis.
Exactly.
And then you see what happens there.
See what's happening. I've never said no, and me and the mayor have never said no.
I know you haven't.
I just want to get it right, so we're not wasting all kinds of money and we're not invading people's privacy.
When will the first body camera be on a cop in Boston?
Well, I would hope within the next couple of months. It's something I have to deal with the union. Jim, I wish I could snap my fingers and it happened tomorrow. But there's so many issues regarding privacy.
Understood.
There's so many issues on costs and hiring people. It's not an easy overnight fix.
You know, I've talked to you many a time about offenses by cops around the country, and you've said, and correct me if I'm wrong, that sadly the sins of your brothers and sisters around the country are visited upon your people as well. I want to show you a video I'm sure you've seen 1,000 times. James Blake, former tennis player at Harvard, obviously pro star as well. Here's this video we've all seen a million times. We then learned this is about allegedly a fraud committed, a credit card fraud, a white-collar crime. We've learned subsequently the police officer in this case has been the subject of at least 4 prior brutality charges. Blake wants him fired. If he worked for you, would he be gone?
Well, again, I think you got to take the totality of the circumstance. But
totality is at least 5 brutality complaints.
I would hope it wouldn't even get to that, Jim. You know, if someone has that many complaints, I would hope that he'd be gone long before this incident happened. But if he had that and that went, I would fire him.
Crime statistics released by the Boston police, I think in the last couple of days. First 9 months of the year, good news. Gun homicides down about 33%. Non-fatal shootings up in the neighborhood of 25%. Why, and what are you doing about it?
Well, let me tell you, I thought we had a pretty good summer. We have 22 homicides, not 24, because two of them happened last year. You know, we had a great summer. We did a lot of great things with the community. We did a lot of outreach. The shootings are up, but the instances of shooting are not. We had a lot of instances, Jim, where multiple people were shot. So 3 weeks ago, we were up 35 shootings. So we're bringing those numbers down. But I got to tell you, we're probably, as a major city, one of the safest cities in this country. You know, violent crimes down 4% overall. Robberies are down 13%. Overall, pot-run crimes down 12%. We're working on those shootings, but you know, if you look at the past 5-year average, we're down from where we were.
So you're satisfied with the direction, at least, in which you're going?
I'm never satisfied, Jim, unless we have zero homicides.
I want to end where we began. Philosophy of policing, Ed Davis versus you. People have heard the expression broken windows theory of policing. The notion is you focus on small things, graffiti, littering, selling an untaxed cigarette like Eric Garner in Staten Island, the notion being it creates an atmosphere of lawlessness, which leads to more serious crime. Davis believed in that. You don't. Why?
Because I don't believe locking people up and giving them records is the answer. You know, our arrest numbers continue to go down. We're down 14% on people we lock up from last year. You know, diverting them, talking to them, you know, trying to get them to our social workers that we have working at our station and give them opportunities. That's the answer. Not locking people up for minor offenses so they have you know, they have a query on their record and they can't get jobs. So, you know, I think our guys get it. It's not about locking people up. It's about getting them opportunities.
Bill Evans, it's always a pleasure. Thank you so much for giving me your time.